What's up, everybody? I'm Jay. This video is episode 4 in our series of making a game character. This episode, I'm going to speak about experimentation and trying new things. We're going to be moving along with the high poly. We're starting to finish up little pieces of the hard surface, at least get the big problems out of the way. I'll also speak a little bit about why I'm doing this sort of thing and the kind of thing I hope to achieve by documenting this process. This video is a little bit longer than the other ones because I thought I didn't want it to get too granular. I wanted to be able to make a video that's about a chunk of something or an idea, or at the end of the video I wanted to be in a obviously better place than the start. So I might take a little bit longer to record and the videos might end up being longer, but I didn't think you guys would mind. You'll see me make a pretty good amount of progress on the high poly, and by next video I hope to be much further along. Alright, let's jump in. Alright, so we're going to be starting off with the shoulder pads. I'm going to be messing around with these shoulder pads for a long time. I really don't know what I'm going to do there. So there's going to be a lot of experimentation there. And that's kind of the point of this video is I left in a lot of the stuff that normally would be edited out because it could be confusing. But I wanted to show people, that are interested in this kind of stuff that, at least for me, I'm trying things and failing all the time. Have like a little idea and I want to just see what it looks like. Or I think, does small shoulder pads look better than big ones? Should they be simple or complicated? Like this pad under here came from a random idea. I mean, I'm experimenting a lot because I don't know the exact answers. Sometimes I feel like without thinking too hard about it, someone might think art comes out of a person like an inkjet printer or something, and we just start in the upper left and print out, but it's not like that. It's pretty chaotic and organic that I cannot tell you what exactly any of this stuff's going to look like. This right here is a shoulder pad experimentation right now that you're seeing. This is kind of like a leafed, kind of ends up looking like kind of hockey-ish things, or makes them look like Shredder. But I thought it'd be cool. It was kind of based on Leonardo's shoulder pads in the Ninja Turtles movie, because I thought it looked pretty cool. But I don't end up going with these either. Here I'm experimenting with putting little kind of supporting cage things on the chest. Maybe that made it look more industrial. I'm going to play a lot with this center chest piece now because it kind of feels weird being cut out like that. But at the same time I like it and I don't like it. So this process that you're seeing now, you're going to see a lot of in this video. The way I'm going about the high poly or the hard surface bits of this character for this project is I'm sketching it out in Zbrush, like in the clay form, so that I can just mess around very quickly and see how it feels. Very low impact and easy to do. Just blob out stuff and try different things quickly. Then when I like it, I put in a Z-sphere and I use the topology to draw topology on it to maintain that initial shape that I made, but then in a nice crisp, manner, any manner I want really. And I'm doing the bevels and the pinches with the Zmodeler brush in ZBrush, which is in the newer version that I'm using here. And so I haven't had that much experience with the Zmodeler brush, which gives you little modeling tips, little modeling tools to use, like inserting edge loops, beveling, welding, a lot. Really a lot. And I haven't had that much experience, so anytime I do a kind of project, a personal one, it's a good time to try little new tools and techniques that have come out and, try to get up to speed or try new things. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm taking this opportunity to do as much as I can in Zmodeler. So you're going to see that a lot. That's how I'm adding the bevels. I'm using the crease to maintain hard edges, inserting edge loops. And you see when I did the topology, I leave breaks in there to simulate those gaps in hard surface kind of armor. So you're going to see that a lot on the chest and the helmet in this video, and I'll do it on the knee pads and the shin guards. So yeah, but that's kind of about the experimenting all the time and trying new things. That goes with the tool, Zmodeler, trying something new to see maybe I like it. And I'm not just trying it and then getting frustrated and stopping because it's not as easy. I'm a little bit fortunate in my case because I don't have a ton of experience. I'm not always doing hard surface stuff in Maya or Max, and I know lots of people do that. And especially in a professional setting, whatever you're quickest and most comfortable, which is usually the same thing, whatever you're quickest and most comfortable at doing, you should do that method, because in a professional setting, you need to be confident, reliable, and quick. But it's a personal project. It's a perfect time to try new things. And the thing about trying new things is when you first start, it's not going to feel good. It's not going to feel very natural because it's totally new. So, I'm not just giving up right away. I'm trying all kinds of stuff. And the longer I'm using it and trying stuff, the more I find new things that I didn't even know I'd be interested in. Like the creasing, which you see on the chest there to make that little kind of extra detail in the kind of swoopy pec shape. It's got a crease there. I think that's pretty cool. And that just, that's part of what I'm doing, is searching for these happy accidents. That's why I'm sculpting it and then trying different. When I'm doing the Zmodeler, I'm like, I could break it here, I could crisp it here, I could bevel it here. What's that look like? What's this look like? And that's the experimenting I'm kind of talking about. Is you want to try all kinds of stuff, because who knows, maybe something cool will happen. This whole cut in the chest here that's now informing my new decisions happened by just clipping the front off to see what would that look like. And I thought I got a cool, interesting looking result, and I just went with it. So yeah, always be trying stuff, always be experimenting. And the Zmodeler, to be honest with you, I kind of like Zmodeler. I think if you're pretty fast and efficient in Maya and Zbrush, that's still probably the fastest thing. But the way the way I always kind of have done hard surfacey stuff is I start in Zbrush. I really like, I'm most comfortable in Zbrush, and I think I don't have to think about navigation and tools when I'm in there, so it comes pretty natural to me. While I'm speaking, by the way, you're gonna see lots of experimentation on this front piece. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, Zbrush is the most comfortable for me. So when I want to be creative, that's kind of my natural setting. So I'll just drop down low resolution Dynameshes and screw around, and just experiment that way. And so before Zmodeler, I would still be doing that. And then when I like the shape, I'd export it to a package like Maya, Max, or Topogun, and draw my topology on there. So I figured this is using the topology with inside ZBrush and then the Zmodeler brush. In my case, in my workflow, could eliminate a step. And even though I might be a little bit faster in Maya, or a little bit more confident because I have more practice there, that doesn't mean that I won't be able to do all that in Zmodeler. I'm going to be using Zmodeler on this helmet for this whole thing. And yeah, I mean, really kind of my review of it is I kind of like it. I think it's cool. For any other reason besides technical reasons, like what do I know? But I can tell you that I like just being inside ZBrush the whole time, and the happy accidents thing happens. There's little things too artistically that I just like, that without moving packages, it frees up a little bit more experimentation, because I'm not so unwilling to try something because it would mean moving between packages. Any extra step that gets in the way can be a deterrent for trying something. So keeping it within the package not only makes me a little bit more experimental, but also without changing the camera and the material, it's all in this one setting. It just keeps my creativity a little bit more free flowing. I don't have to be interrupted as much by planning and moving files around. And when you're in Maya or something, it's different controls, so it's putting a little bit more work for your brain to do. So getting comfortable within ZBrush is good. And I'm by no means a very fast hard surface modeler guy anyway. So yeah, I ended up liking it. I guess the review's not totally in yet. I'm still working on this character, but I'm trying to do as much hard surface as I can with it. I ended up doing the belt buckle later you see in the video in Maya, just because I started to think about how I would make it in ZBrush, and then I was just like, I'll just do this in Maya, because I don't have to think too hard about it to do it in Maya. But yeah, overall, I'm kind of happy with the results too. We'll see. The other thing I'm using that's new to me and goes along with this hard surface stuff is there's a, I think they call it, dynamic subdiv. You can kind of see it in the screenshot there on the right. So if you just press D, if nothing has divisions, you can either click the button, dynamic subdiv under divide, or press D. And what that does is it shows you it being divided without dividing it, and you can change the resolution there. So I'm using that for a couple reasons. One is, like, say I make, like right here you see me doing it now. So I'm modeling a low resolution mesh here and then maintaining the edges. What I'll do is I'll put on the dynamic and I'll see what's happening while it smooths, and then I can crisp edges live and see how it's affecting the subdivision. Also, the reason why that's essential is that all of the Zmodeler tools you can't do on a mesh that has subdivisions. So just like in traditional box modeling in Maya or something, you want to be working on a very low resolution cage that's efficient to produce the result that you want. And you need to be able to see what that result is when it's subdivided very high to be smooth. So you're working in a very low resolution version and maintain those edges so that once it's subdivided, it makes the shape you want. So it's essential to have like a preview, and that's what dynamic subdivide is giving you, because you cannot divide it up and then still extract or something. You kind of lock it in if you divide. But with dynamic, you can also change the resolution, so you can have it be divided very high and know exactly what it'll look like when you want to lock that in. And so a lot of these meshes on the chest and the helmet aren't even divided. They're dynamically divided so that in the viewport I can see what it'll look like. And then when I'm happy when it's all done, then I'll start to do it for realsies. So that the last step of this hard surface thing for me right now will be I'm making these big shapes now, and then later I'll go over it with little details like little alpha stamps, put little lines in them and little tabs and stuff like that. And to do that, I would need it to be actually divided within ZBrush, you know? So yeah, more and more drawing topology. The more and more I did this, the more comfortable I got. The helmet was a good place to start. Yeah, and all in all, I'm happy with it. I haven't done topology inside ZBrush for a little bit. I use Topogun a lot. I ended up just really liking it, and because of the strengths of staying in ZBrush I was mentioning, that's what really made it seem like, hey, you know, I should do this some more. And it's a freeing feeling. It's fun to experiment, even though people have their methods and their order of operations they're comfortable with. You know, all the better to have that and to be comfortable and fast, especially in that professional setting. But it's refreshing for me anyway to try to keep creating stuff. If all the new condition, if there's a lot of new conditions, it's kind of exciting for me. As just new environment, so it feels refreshing. Solving problems in a different way, getting results you wouldn't normally get. It's fun, and especially, you know, it's a welcome break from doing things very similarly. Oh, it got a crash there. So that happens too. I know that in the broad scheme of things, these type of videos aren't going to be the most entertaining, and I want my channel to have a variety of different things, including entertaining videos. But the reason I'm recording this crashed again. But the reason I'm recording this kind of process like this is for the people like me. Like, I know it's a smaller group of people. You guys out there that are watching this right now, that's crazy. You're cool. I know there's not a lot of people because it's a little bit technical and a little bit boring. I mean, it's boring. It takes a long time to do this stuff. And also, you know, there's a big world of tutorials out there, you know, that people try to like teach in a video, an instructional video. But this really isn't that either. This is kind of just documenting the process, kind of like a vlog. Like I want people to see the process uninterrupted. Like I think an important thing that as a student or someone that's doing it for fun or by themselves now, like I think it's important that you guys know that I don't know what I'm doing a lot of the time. I'm trying out new stuff. All the time I'm trying out new tools and new software. And every time it's the same. I know that in the beginning that feels frustrating. It feels like, oh, why can't things just be the way they were? I was so comfortable before. I had my thing before. And I think it's important to welcome new things. Like, don't be scared, just dive in, knowing that you're gonna be dumb and you're gonna be, you know, dog paddling in the water for a while because you don't know. But you ask questions, you do research, you keep trying things, you think, you know, I want to do this, I want to do that. There's got to be a way. You don't give up. You just try things. It's all about doing things that you don't normally do, because it's going to happen all the time. This specific industry too. Anything related to technology really is very important to not get settled in, but to be looking forward to and excited by new methods and new things to do. I mean, that's what ZBrush did in general in the beginning, is an industry and an art form and a medium that was the same for such a long time. Then ZBrush comes out and digital sculpting is crazy, man. It's so awesome. It's so fast. Even though what I'm doing right now seems long, at the end of the video I'll tell you the hour count that I'm at right now. But even though that seems really long, it's so much faster than it used to be. And even if it does take a long time, that's because I'm experimenting more. I don't have to settle as much. I get to experiment more. I get to essentially I'm concepting my model as I'm working on it, which isn't normally that only happens if you're a concept designer or like me doing a personal project. But yeah, it's just really important to be trying all kinds of new things, and to try to maintain an attitude about being excited about it. Anyways, so the reason why I'm recording these kinds of videos like this is for that person out there that's interested, and I think it's important for them to know that I like trying new things, and things are always going to be hard when you start out, but you don't give up. You know that it's hard, and then but it's what's hard is you just don't know, and so it's important to learn and ask questions and be curious. The other thing is, I'm not cutting out the crashes. Crashes happen. It takes you a while, but like I'm super good at just saving all the time. Like once in a while I'll lose work and it's the worst feeling ever. So that terrible feeling has trained me to save, and I don't just save, I save iterations. There's a feature in Zbrush that does this automatically. I don't know if you just saw that folder full of iterations. I think I'm on iteration 32 or something now. So for two reasons. One, it's peace of mind that I can move back. I don't have a revision history program, file management program at home. I don't do that. You could do something like Time Machine on Mac or some other kind of time capsule thing, but it's pretty like it's the getaway to just save something with another number on it, and it gives you peace of mind to know that I can always go back to this file because you think I like this file, but I'm gonna do a change right now. Then you can just save a new number. Then you go, oh, okay, I'm free to experiment now because I saved the thing I like, and now I want to like, what does it look like this? Or I want to cut this in half, or like I'm gonna try this radical idea, and you're liberated. And for the other reason of back in the day anyway, my files used to get corrupt, and then it was like, you didn't just lose work, like you lost all your work. That's a terrible feeling. So for those two reasons, I just save iterations, and it's a muscle memory thing now. You can bind it to a new key, but I'm used to Control-Shift-T in Zbrush, and I add a number to it and add it to the log and just put it, you can just put it in a hard drive somewhere. And so, yeah, I wanted people to see that it crashes and that it's time consuming. I go to multiple programs, I try different things, and a lot of the time I look like an idiot because normally when you're doing this stuff, people aren't watching you. So if you were making a video, you'd want to edit it. If you were making a video to be instructional and direct and efficient, makes sense. You'd want to edit it so that it's very clear to the viewer. And what this video about is kind of just documenting it. Like, here's what it looks like. And it's something I would be very curious about when I was in college, is to be able to just see someone doing it. Because even though I'm not teaching you specific things, I think everyone that watches it and is interested is gonna kind of take away different things. Being able to see decisions I make or things I do, how I bounce around, or what kind of you'll see different things before I'm finished with it, and you'll see how I finished with it. Anyways, there's lots of like little nuancy things that when I watch videos of all sorts of subjects, I just really appreciate just seeing someone do it because it's interesting to me to see how they do it, and it makes me think what's different about it than me. And how do they solve similar problems that I have? And hopefully I make you feel like, I'm out here doing this too. That you're not alone messing around in Zbrush. That, I'm here at home. I'll be up late just messing around with stuff, trying to make knee pads cool or gloves or, thinking about Space Marines and stuff. And that you're not the only weirdo out there that likes to make characters on computers. Yeah. So anyways, for those people, especially still watching this video, you're crazy, and I love you because you're crazy. So anyways, I'm putting topology here on the shin guards. Everything's the same method where I'm blocking it out in the digital clay, keeping it simple when I do the topology. You see there, I put that seam in the middle. I'm kind of thinking I'll put belts and straps on it later. But yeah, that's going to be about it for this session. So far, we're at a total of 34 hours. By the next video, I'm hoping to finish the high poly. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how long that video is. But thanks a lot for sticking around. Subscribe, like the video if you did. Peace out. Bones.